Shalom. I'm start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well, and as always, peace and salutations to all the fellow laborers of the tabernacle of David, though for elects scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I just want to respond to an interesting statement that Ye made on this Drink Champs interview. Now we all know, Kanye is a straight up bug out, totally spaced out. He's all over the place. And that's from all them demons that's on him, being, in too deep into that satanic, music industry. Due to him being in too deep, due to insider, he made so much money. So, he's seen a lot and he knows a lot. That's why every now and then he'll have his little meltdowns and, he'll go out and start, speaking some things that he ought not. His handlers are usually come and, put him in check. You know, once he get out of line, hey, nigga, you talking too much, you know, and his handlers, do MK Ultra on his ass and shut his ass up. But, nevertheless, him coming on Drink Champs, he starts spilling stuff, like he normally do. And he made an interesting statement, once he start to, delve into, us being the Israelites, he kind of, goes off the diving board, so to speak, when he say the 12 tribes of Judah, which we all know that there's 12 different tribes. But however, we do come from the waters of Judah, the Lord being, the first Judite, if you want to be technical. But nevertheless, I just want to, respond to the statement that he's getting ready to say, because I thought it was interesting. It's actually truthful. All right. It's actually truthful. And we know Kanye is not a man of the Lord. He's not of the elect. We know it says in First Corinthians, the first chapter, that not many wise, not many mighty, not many noble are called. All right. So anyway, let me delve into it.
My mom was born into a drinking fountain. They told her what fountain she could drink out of. Okay. Now we born into a vote. They literally call it the black vote. Yeah. And by the way, we blood of Christ. We blood of Moses. Right. We're not just a color in a crayon box. And if we knew that, who we really were, we'd treat each other differently. We'd treat ourselves differently. So when you say, I'm black and I'm proud, but of what? What concept are we understanding? They say go see the African History Museum. Why do they start when the boats came? Why don't they start with the drums?
When we was kings.
No, they don't want it, but we are kings. Mm-hmm. But the 400 years doesn't have to deal with slavery. It has to deal with the Bible. It has to deal with us being disobedient to God. Right. And that's why.
And that's interesting coming from a dude like Ye. Nigga, you in too deep within that industry. You couldn't obey the Most High if you wanted to. But he's actually right. It's due to our disobedience why these things have come upon us. And that's all you got to do is go into the curses. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 15. And it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And basically, due to this contract that the Lord made with us, this agreement, these were the conditions of, breaking that contract. If you break this contract, you agree that these curses, these conditions are going to come upon you when you break it. All right. And that's what happened, man. And because of our disobedience, refusing to hearken unto the voice of the Lord, hearken unto his servants, the prophets, keeping these commandments, these judgments, these statutes, which are righteous. Jake wanted to do their own thing, and that's what led us into, these conditions, man. All right. Now, Kanye, he has that zeal. All right. Like it tells you in Romans 10, where they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. All right. But he's still, right, what he's saying. All right. So I think there's another scripture I can go to. Um Let me real quick, let me go to Daniel 9 and 11. And it says, Salakia. And it says, yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Obedience is key. It says, therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. And that's why, man. A lot of our people like to complain about what happens to them, and why is this, why is that? Why everybody else get reparations but us? Why are we forgotten about? Why are we being used? Why, we got used for our slave labor, but we just can't seem to get reparations for it. We can't become sovereign as a nation. Why come this? Why come that? Well, it's because you're under the curse, man, heavily. You know, the Most High always stretched forth his hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people. The Lord try to always remind you and actually try to, stir up your mind to try to remember why, but you refuse. All right. So, this is where we at with it, man. So anyway, um, I'll read a little more. It says, and he have confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. And the things that we suffered as a people, man, is very unprecedented, and you know, no other nation's uh, uh history of struggle and being brought to rock bottom can ever be compared to that of the nation of Israel. All right, all those curses, these people cannot say that they fit the bill. You just can't. It says, as it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us, yet we made not our prayer before the Lord, our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Therefore have the Lord watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Lord our power is righteous in all his works which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice. All right, so we were what? We were disobedient. Okay, we moved the Heavenly Father to wrath, and we are yet this day in our captivity, subject unto payments. So we catch hell, even if you rich as an Israelite, you still catch hell. Ask him. You know, this dude gotta cover them demons in his eye. That's why you gotta wear them big ass dark shades in that room. But anyway, let me let it continue to play, because it was something else that I want to address regarding what he said.
We farm land that isn't our own. Record labels, the NBA, Hollywood. These boys be scared. They be.
And that's another interesting point. That's what I wanted to say. All right, we said basically we farm land that we don't even own. All right, let me back that up real quick.
The NBA.
Hold on, let me back it up some more.
Years doesn't have to deal with slavery. It has to deal with the Bible. It has to deal with us being disobedient to God. Right. And that's why we farm land that isn't our own. Record labels, the NBA, Hollywood.
We farm land that we don't even own. Meaning what? You labor and produce for a whole nother, stranger that reaps all the benefits. They eat all the fruit, so to speak. Jake, make all these record labels and build these record labels, and they don't get shit. They get crumbs, but we all know who gets all the produce, who gets all the wealth from it. Esau, Amalek in particular. Same with the NBA, the NFL, you know, Hollywood. Jake, popularized everything. So all these billions of dollars that's generated through those industries, Jake, they still they don't get they don't get what they earn or what they work for. They get pimped out. Esau gets all the wealth from it. He gets all the residuals. Now that's actually in the curse. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 30. And it says, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. And that happened to us in captivity. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell in. Meaning you're not going to live in it. What you build, you're not going to be able to dwell in. All right. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Now, let me get the other translations. The NLT says, you will be engaged to a woman, but another man will sleep with her. You will build a house, but someone else will live in it. Esau, we built all this shit, but Esau, he inhabits it. It says you will plant a vineyard, but you will never enjoy its fruit. You know, and that's what Jay got to deal with, man. You sell all those millions of records, for these labels, but you might get a chance to be president. You know, you might be able to get some points off of these artists that you sign up under you, but then Esau told you how to pimp out your own people. You know, so it's a fucked up game, but hey, it goes back to the curse. Okay, you started off getting pimped out, and then once you raised up, once you went up the ranks by the number of rituals and a lot of self-degrading, humiliating practices that you had to do to go up those ranks. Then you got into position where you can become the president of this label, or be able to get your own distribution or whatever. And then some of these entertainers, they didn't have to go through all type of court battles, you know just to regain ownership of their own stuff. So yeah, man, we build all this shit up, and we don't get nothing really in return. Maybe just little crumbs here and there, but really the sellouts. You get the crumbs. All right, let's jump down to 33. It says, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors, all the work you put in, shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Let me read that in the NLT. It says, a foreign nation you have never heard about will eat the crops you work so hard to grow. You will suffer under constant oppression and harsh treatment. Yep. Still get treated like shit, man. You know, you get out of line, they'll still, you know, humiliate you publicly. They'll spiritually bug break you, man. Even if garnish so much, success for that particular owner, they don't give a shit, man. You're still a slave to them. All right. You're just property. So that's the curse. So he's actually he's right on that, man. You know, This dude, he's saying some truthful things there, even though he's a bug out, you know. So, that was just a point that I wanted to kind of, chime in on. All right. And that shows you that, a lot of these entertainers, especially these higher ones, they're insiders, so they already know what the deal is. And that's why at the end of the day, there won't be any excuse because this word has gone out, man. Romans 10 and 18. And it says, but I say, have they not heard? Yes, barely. Their sound went into all the earth and their words into the ends of the world, you know. And none of them can say, "Oh, I got this because I studied and learned on my own." While I was on tour on the road, I just opened up the Bible and I just started reading, and all this came. Hell no, man! You talking this stuff because you've been watching. All you do is watch. You watching the apostles, the elders, the different camps, even the other One West camp. You watching us all, man. All right, but hey, it don't really mean anything because it matters what you do with it. Once you hear it, you're supposed to run, and you ain't supposed to look back, man. You're not gonna partake. You're not gonna partake with the table of the Lord and the table of devils. Let me get that. So that's why it'll be hard for a dude like Kanye to really fully come into the truth, and all these celebrities and entertainers that know the truth. First Corinthians 10 and 21, it says, "You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and the table of devils." Okay, and that's just what it is, man. All right, you can have all the zeal in the world, but if still in line with Satan, there's no way you could still serve Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Even DMX before he passed, he came out to that camp, the HOI camp in Atlanta, and I was just like, this guy, what is he gonna do? He already knew the truth. He even had the tattoo on his neck, even though that was going off. But he was still on that Christian tip, but he knew that he was an Israelite. But that dude was still obviously attached to the industry. He wasn't finna fully let go. That dude had a tour. He was putting out an album, and what happened right after that? But like 6 weeks later, dude dropped, man. He dropped dead. So you can't play around with this. So anyway, I just want to go into that, and hopefully this was edifying. I'm gonna give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shai. And to the next lesson, Shalom.